Hello and welcome back to another daily YouTube video, and today I am going to be going over the new Dota 2 7.38 patch notes. So, the list is quite long, as you can see right here, and we will be going over all of it. So, let's begin. So, for the major mechanics, we have Universal Heroes damage per attribute has been decreased from 0.7 to 0.45, which basically means a lot of the builds that used to be viable for Universal Heroes that went full damage are just not going to work anymore. As a result, many heroes have had their base damages and attribute gains changed. Skill points can now be spent on all attributes starting at level 2 instead of level 6. Reflected spells now benefit from all bonuses the original caster had, including the following: Caster's Facet upgrades, bonuses from talents, and Aghanim's Shard and Aghanim's Scepter upgrades. Upgrades used to depend on Aghanim's items the reflecting unit had. Slow resistance now also increases minimum movement speed by the slow resist percentage. 20% slow resistance increases your minimum movement speed from 100 to 120. Glyph of Fortification, creep duration decreased from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. Units no longer gain bonus movement speed during the night. Items that have entered a hero's backpack for the very first time now have a 3-second grace period where they can be swapped into the main inventory without any cooldown. This can only happen once per item per hero. So now we have the Wandering Waters, which is like the big new thing in this update. The top and bottom outer rim areas are now flooded by streams of traversable water. These streams have a current starting near the T3 towers, right before the medium camp location, down to the T1 towers, former Twin Gate location. Going downstream increases current and max movement speed, while going upstream inflicts no penalty. Streams are separated by 2 zones, one with a strong current, which provides up to 150 bonus movement speed, and one with a moderate current, which provides up to 100 bonus speed. This current is strong from stream beginnings near each base, up to the waterfalls near the T2 towers. All other stream sections are considered to have moderate current. Bonus value depends on the faced direction, ranging from 100% while going downstream to 0% at 90 degrees. Watchers, camps, and pathways in the areas have been slightly adjusted to give way for the stream. Radiant and Dire main jungles now also have a stream with moderate current. Starting near the easy camp close to the mid T1 towers, they join the outer streams, crossing the safe lane near the T2 towers. So now we have the map objectives. Roshan. Roshan is back in the river with one pit located near each side lane. Top layer is slightly closer to Dire's jungle entrance and bottom one is closer to Radiance. Only the active Roshan pit will show as a minimap icon. Roshan initially spawns in the bottom pit. Starting at 50 minutes, Roshan will follow the day-night cycle, walking across the river towards his designated pit. Top at night and bottom at day. Roshan no longer has bonus movement speed while moving between pits. Roshan now has basic 25% slow resistance and an additional 25% slow resistance when running between pits. When running into a hero while moving between pits, Roshan will stop and grab them before violently throwing them away. Upon landing, heroes are stunned for 1 second and take 200 pure damage plus 0.5% of target's current health per minute of game time? What? Each time Roshan throws a hero, he gains 70 bonus movement speed and increases throw damage by an additional 100 until he reaches his destination pit. After 5 throws, Roshan ignores heroes on his way. Throw distance 1500, max bonus move speed 300, can be blocked by spell blocking abilities and items like Lincoln Sphere but can't be reflected. Heroes will be thrown away from Roshan based on their relative position to him. Added a Roshan icon near the minimap that shows Roshan's state: alive, dead, maybe alive, and location. If Roshan is dead, the status will also include a timer until his possible respawn. Since Roshan's respawn takes between 8 to 11 minutes, during this window the status will say that he may be alive, but also include a timer until the guaranteed respawn. If a team gains vision over Roshan or Roshan's Roar of Retribution is heard during the status, the timer will be updated to inform that Roshan is alive. Templar Assassin's third eye innate will cause the icon to display exactly when and where Roshan will respawn. Roar of Retribution. Roar of Retribution now also applies 2-second disarm on all affected units. Radius decreased from 900 to 600. Cast point increased from 0.1 seconds to 0.5. Cooldown increased from 20 seconds to 60 seconds. Roshan's knockback now has a 2-second cooldown before it can be applied to the same unit again. Added a unique attack animation for Bash as well as new animation particles for Roar of Retribution. So now we get to the Tormentors. Tormentor spawns repositioned to the corners of the map. There is only a single Tormentor active at a time. Tormentors now spawn for the first time at 15 minutes. Tormentor now grants 250 gold to each team member on death. Tormentor is also dependent on day-night cycles, so it's at Radiant side at night and at Dire side at day. As a result, it will always appear at the Radiant side first. Due to this, Roshan and Tormentor are always on opposite sides. Tormentor's abilities now scale with game time and instead of the number of deaths. Unyielding Shield damage absorbed rescaled from 2,500 plus 200 per death to 1,900 plus 20 per minute of the game. Unyielding Shield barrier regeneration rescaled from 100 to 100 per death to 30 plus 5 per game time. Reflect damage percentage rescaled from 90 plus 20 per death to 50 plus 2 per minute of game time. The Shining damage per second increased from 30 seconds to 60. From 30 to 60. The Shining radius decreased from 1,200 to 1,000. Alleviation new ability. After dying, the Tormentor leaves behind a 900 radius aura that increases self-regeneration of all units in the air by 2% of their max health, lasts 15 seconds. And now we get to the changes that affect Lotus Pools. Changes the way healing lotuses are collected from Lotus Pools. Lotus Pools now have free entrances and an empty region in the center. Heroes will automatically gather lotuses when within 350 units of a center of a pool. As long as they have available space in their inventory, the first lotus takes 1.5 seconds to collect. Each subsequent lotus in a row takes 30% less time. The timer only counts down when all heroes within range are on the same team, pausing if an enemy hero enters the area and resuming when enemies leave. If multiple allied heroes are all within range, the lotus will be granted to a random hero. Lotus pools will now spawn great lotuses after tier 4 neutral items are available. Lotus will now spawn greater lotuses after tier 5 neutral items are available. So now we get to the Shrines of Wisdom, which is another big change. Wisdom runes have been removed from the game, replaced with the new building, the Shrines of Wisdom. Shrines of Wisdom are located in the offlane side jungle between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers where the ancient camps used to be. The shrines will activate every 7 minutes, glowing and filling with experience. To gather the experience from an activated shrine, a hero must stand within 300 units for 3 seconds. Like Lotus Pools, the shrine will not count down time if an enemy hero contests by standing within the effect radius, and will resume if the enemy hero leaves the area or is killed. Experience will be granted at to a random hero within 300 units of the shrine, and also their teammate with the lowest experience. Okay? Now we get to the bounty runes. The spawn interval has been increased from 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Gold provided after the initial set rescale from 36 plus 9 per 5 minutes to 40 plus 6 per 4 minutes. Okay. Other terrain changes. The region-specific map buffs, mighty mines, etc. have been removed. Corner outposts have been removed. The twin gates have been repositioned to the corners of the map on a new high ground near the Tormentors. Touched up the map in general, slightly adjusted neutral camps, trees, and cliffs. Here we have another massive change. Lifesteal. Individual abilities no longer have special rules about how lifesteal works in different situations. Heroes versus creeps versus illusions, damage types, etc. Lifesteal mechanics are now consistent across every ability. Lifesteal applies to physical damage from attacks and is reduced by 40% when damaging non-hero units. Spell lifesteal now applies to physical damage from all spells and magic damage from spells or attacks and is reduced by 80% when damaging non-heroes. Now for lifesteal, nor spell lifesteal applies to pure damage. Holding Alt while looking at items that provide lifesteal or spell lifesteal will show the lifesteal percentages for attacking and casting spells and targeting creeps versus heroes. The following source and targets do not provide any lifesteal. Attacks that do not proc attack modifiers, attack damage against wards, buildings, or couriers, spells damage against illusions, wards, buildings, or couriers, reflected damage, spells that remove health instead of dealing direct damage, any damage dealt to self or allies. A small number of abilities that do not use Lifesteal or spell Lifesteal still result in healing and can benefit from Lifesteal Amp. Lifestealer's Open Wounds heals attackers for a percentage of the damage done. Lifestealer's Feast heals for a percentage of the target's max health. Meepo's Ransack heals all Meepos a flat amount for each strike. And here we have the neutral creep updates. Flooded camps. Neutral creep camps that reside within a stream are considered flooded camps. Flooded camps are polluted with new amphibian neutral creatures. These camps are easy camp on the rim between tier 1 and tier 2 towers, medium camp on the rim near tier 2 towers, medium camp in the main jungle that was on the streams away and used to be a hard camp. As the tides of the battle rise, creeps in these special camps evolve every 5 minutes. One of the creeps in that camp will be forever upgraded to a next tier. Each camp consists of 3 units. As a result, at 15 minutes, easy camp completely turns into a medium camp, and both medium camps will become hard ones. At 30 minutes, medium camp will become a hard one, and both hard camps will evolve into ancient ones. Each creep can only be upgraded twice, meaning an easy camp will never reach an ancient status. Sorry, Pollywog's. Units are not upgraded if the camp is blocked. Amount of upgraded units can't be increased, so if there is only one ancient creep attempting to stack that, camp will not create another ancient creep. These camps consist of the following creeps. Easy camp is 3 Polywogs, medium camp is 2 Boglets and a Marshmage apprentice, hard camp is 2 Croakers and a Marshmage, ancient camp is 2 ancient Croakers and an ancient Marshmage. The new neutral creeps are detailed below. The Pollywog. New level 2 melee creep, 400 health and 200 mana, 270 movement speed, 19 to 21 damage, 1 armor and 0% magic resistance, 17 to 19 gold, and 30 XP bounty. Riverborn Aura, passive, all allies within a 1200 range receive a 10, 12, 14, 16% movement speed, and outgoing damage bonus as long as the Aura owner is in water. Boglet. New level 4 melee creep, 700 health and 300 mana, 22 to 24 damage, 290 movement speed, 2 armor and 0% magic resistance, 25 to 29 gold, and 42 XP bounty. Armor of the Deep, active, sends out tentacles in the target direction, stunning enemies for 0.8 seconds and dealing 80, 100, 120, 140 damage. Range 275, mana cost 40, cooldown 16 seconds. Armor of the Deep, neutrals will cast. Yeah, we've already gone over these. So these are the same for all of them, it seems. Marshmage Apprentice. New level 4 ranged creep, 700 health and 300 mana, 24 to 27 damage, 290 movement speed, and 250 attack range, 2 armor and 0% magic resistance, 25 to 29 gold, and 42 XP bounty. Water Bubble Small creates a barrier bubble that protects the target from 100, 120, 140, 160 magical damage for 10 seconds. Cast range 550, mana cost 90, cooldown 16 seconds. Water Bubble Small, neutrals will cast this ability on a random ally that is below 50% health. There we go. Next. New level 4 melee creep, 900 health and 350 mana, 41 to 46 damage, 300 movement speed, 3 armor and 0% magic resistance, 37 to 31 gold, 55 XP bounty, Tendrils of the Deep, active, sends tentacles in a cone, shape the targeted direction, starting enemies for 1 second and dealing 120, 140, 160, 180 damage. Range 300, mana cost 50, cooldown 18 seconds. Tendrils of the Deep, neutrals will cast this ability on the closest enemy if there are 3 or more enemies within 600, 2 times the ability's cast range radius. After that, all copies of this ability on other neutral Croakers within 1200 range are put on a 5-second cooldown. Next, we have the Marshmage, the big one. New level 4 ranged creep, 900 health and 350 mana, 40 to 45 damage, 300 movement speed, and 250 attack range, 3 armor and 0% magic resistance, 37 to 31 gold, and 55 XP bounty. Water Bubble Medium creates a barrier bubble that protects the target from 150, 180, 210, and 240 magical damage for 10 seconds. After the bubble bursts, heals the target for 50% of that amount. Cast range 550, mana cost 100, cooldown 16 seconds. Next, the Ancient Croaker. New level 5 ancient melee creep. 1250 health and 450 mana, 60 to 64 damage, 300 movement speed, 5 armor and 30% magic resistance, 53 to 56 gold and 104 XP bounty. Congregations of the Deep active, sends out tentacles in 6 directions around itself, stunning enemies for 1.4 seconds and dealing 250, 270, 300, 325 damage, range 300, mana cost 70, cooldown 20. Congregation of the Deep, neutral will cast this ability if there are 3 or more enemies within 600, 2 times the ability's range radius, and the last one is within cast range. After that, all copies of this ability neutrals will be put on a 5-second cooldown. Ancient Marshmage. Woo! 1250 health and 450 mana, 58 to 62 damage, 300 movement speed and 500 attack range, 5 armor and 30% magical resistance, 53 to 56 gold and 104 XP bounty. Water Bubble Large creates a barrier bubble that protects the target from 210, 240, 270, 300 magic damage for 10 seconds. After the bubble bursts, heals the target and allies in a 675 radius for 50% of that amount. And the rest is stuff that we've already gone over. Then we have the Ancient Prowler Acolyte, returning ancient melee creep. Health increased from 600 to 750, XP bounty increased from 50 to 95, gold bounty decreased from 52 to 58 to 37 to 43, base attack time increased from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds, base attack speed increased from 100 to 145, attack point decreased from 0.83 to 0.3, turn rate improved from 0.5 to 0.9, Prowler Aura no longer stacks with itself. Prowler Aura Lifesteal rescaled from 10% to 9, 10, 11, 12%. Prowler Aura Health Regen rescaled from 10 to 9, 10, 11, 12. And there we have the Shaman version. Returning ancient melee creep, level increased from 5 to 6. Health increased from 1,200 to 1,400. XP bounty increased from 95 to 124. Gold bounty increased from 58 to 69 to 76 to 80. Base attack time increased from 1.5 to 2 seconds. Base attack speed increased from 100 to 135. Attack point decreased from 0.8 to 0.3. Turn rate improved from 0.5 to 0.9. Desecrate number of enemy units in range required to trigger cast from 1 to 3. Petrify. Neutrals will auto-cast this ability only if the Ancient Prowler Shaman has less than 90% health at the start of the attack. Petrify DPS increased from 75 to 100. Petrify duration decreased from 2 seconds to 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Petrify damage tick interval decreased from 0.5 to 0.1. So there we have all the major changes. There's some other stuff for the other creep changes. We have a bunch of item updates. Like the block of cheese, Scrumptious now restores 3,000 health and 2,000 mana when consumed. Scrumptious' Savory Shield now has a 5-minute duration. Scrumptious can no longer be cast on an ally to give them the buff, however the item is still fully shareable. We have some stuff like the Orb of Frost, which is a new item. New basic equipment item, costs 150 gold, provides no bonuses. Passive, Frost on stack, slows the enemy by 13% if the target is ranged, and by 5% if the target is melee, reduces the target's incoming healing by 15% to duration 3 seconds. So now we have the Orb of Venom, which has been changed a lot. It's an actually really useful item. So, Poison attack now has a 9-second cooldown. Poison attack no longer slows movement speed. Poison attack damage per second increased from 2 to 10. Poison attack duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. Okay. And we have some other stuff like the cost nerfs of the Wendell Lace, but we'll just scroll down. And there's another massive update that we have, which is more towards the bottom of this page. Here we go. No, it's not. 3, 2, 1. And here we have the actual heroes themselves. A lot of stuff has changed with heroes, so yeah. I will be linking the entire patch notes in the description, as these are incredibly time-consuming to read through. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!